Alright, hey everybody, this is Björkman from The Long Wait, here with another Patreon YouTube video, showing you inside the session of our newest single, Perfect Pocket. We're really excited to release this song, or we were really excited, especially after we released it. We got over 400 views on our single release video on YouTube just in the first week, and we're really happy it got such a good reception. And now all the stuff has gone through the CD Baby thing, so we can be found on most places you either buy or stream your music, which means it's available on iTunes and Spotify and Bandcamp and all of those other places. You should be able to find them. Those are probably the ones you use the most. But let's get into some technical jibber jabber here. I'm excited about showing you a little bit into the song, although I'll leave the complete mix walkthrough here for the Crowd Audio Playground Premium members. If you don't know, this song is actually being used in a mixing competition over at Crowd Audio this month, and a lot of engineers, actually 150 people, have taken this song and done their kind of version of it. So it's been very interesting to hear the various mixes of this song. So what I wanted to talk about here mainly is I want to tell you what I'm really proud of in this session, and then what I think I could do better in the next sessions, especially when it comes to making the EP that we'll be working on over the summer. But before that, I just wanted to show you just a little insight into what you're actually listening to when you are listening to the song. As you know, we just have the drums here. A little bit of tambourine. And a little bit of bass. And the electric guitar. This way, oh, I am here to stay. What we had isn't lost, what we have is the now. In our perfect pocket, in our perfect pocket, pocket of love, pocket of love, pocket of love. So that's mostly it. It's very straightforward, very simple song. I kind of want to make it sound like you would hear us live, without any too much of overdubbing or extra instruments that we couldn't reproduce live. So when you see us play, this is more or less what you get. So what I wanted to talk about here is what I'm especially proud of And those 3 things that I took down is the general recorded tracks. I'm actually pretty happy with how these tracks came out. Just in the recording phase, I had an easy and fun time mixing this because I didn't feel there was necessarily a lot of work to be done mixing many of the tracks. Obviously, I spent a lot of time working on them, but I wasn't tearing my hair out trying to, fix a problem or anything like that. That really just comes down to making sure that you get it right at the source. What the sound is through the guitar amp is actually the sound that you want on the record. So basically, one of the things in particular is I really like the solo guitar sound. So I actually have a little bit of EQ on that, some tape emulation, and then just an LA2A, just compressing. And if you hear here without all this stuff, then I have it going to bus 8, which is the guitar solo reverb. So let's take all that out. This is the actual recorded track without any processing whatsoever. So those processors just give it a little more depth, a little space with using the slap or the delay thing here in the Kramer tape emulation, and then there's a little more reverb here using I think it's just dark chamber, the Valhalla room, which I really like, and I just kind of think that this just adds a little extra niceness to a track that already was sounding pretty good. Alright, moving on to the next thing I'm kind of proud of here is like just the overall mix. I was really I really had a fun time mixing this, and I really enjoyed playing around with everything, and that kind of comes down to my third point is I really enjoy the excitement of the song. The vocals especially, and I'm one of the vocalists, and I'm always pretty insecure about how I'm sounding when I'm singing. But this song, the double vocals that come together so well because we tracked it together and we were singing together, and I think that really helps to really nail down that phrasing and rhythm of the voices throughout the song. So the excitement of the song is really cool to me, and one of the things I'm especially proud of. And then what I could do better is I could definitely do better at gain staging. Gain staging is a very technical term, and it basically just means when you're processing, a track that you have to make sure that what you're putting through a processor, such as an EQ or a compressor, isn't overloading the next processor and then causing distortion along the way down. I didn't do that really well here, and you can hear that in the kick drum especially. If I give you step-by-step things of what I put on the track here, you will be able to hear when it's like, oh, that's weird, that's probably a little distorted or whatever. So I'll give you a little insight in what I should have done better and what I should have paid more attention to. But in the end, it didn't affect the sound of the record, so I'm lucky in that regard. So you can definitely hear when I plug this one in, this is actually parallel compression of the kick itself, and it's adding some weird clicks or distortion, or maybe some phasing issues as well. But in the end, I don't notice it when it's with everything else. But now that I've told you, I hope you don't hold it that much against me. And then the second thing I wish I could have done better is the mastering, because I did master this myself, but because it was a single, I just mastered it more or less on the master bus here. So I mixed it originally through the V-Comp compressor, just lightly compressing the whole mix, and then when it came time to master, I mastered it through all these processors here. But the thing is that I mixed it, so I am very close to it, so that when it comes time to master, I don't have a different perspective on the song, so it's going to be hard for me to make it better than what I think is a finished mix. So at that point, I'm really only trying to make it a little louder, a little more commercial, and it's hard to take yourself out of the mixing engineer's mindset. So next time, and especially when it comes to the time for the EP, I think I will have somebody else master it, just to get a different set of ears on everything and work with somebody else to make it even better than I could do myself. And the third and final thing that I think I could do better is keep asking for feedback on the mixes from experts. And I did actually do this. I just want to mention it because this is definitely something everybody should do. Try to get feedback on their mixes, because you might miss something because you're, like I said before, you're too close to the song. And not only am I the recording engineer, musician, writer, and mixing engineer, I'm also mastering it. So I'm very, very close to the center of the song here. So getting an extra set of ears to tell you what they think from a technical standpoint is very valuable. And I'm sorry to say that getting feedback from people that don't necessarily have the technical expertise, like, you know, your hardcore fans or your friends or family, they will give you the typical, oh yeah, I think it sounds great advice, which isn't very helpful, even though it does make you feel good. But getting advice from somebody that can look at it from a technical standpoint and say, like, this sounds good, but I would think that try looking at these things. For instance, I got feedback from a couple people, and one of the things was that everybody was complaining about the bass and the mids of the guitar. So I went back and I made the guitars thicker and the bass more punchy, cutting through the mix, and that just made the mix so much better. So make sure that whenever you're working on a session, getting feedback from people other than your friends and family, and even other band members, is very important. So that's it for this week's video. It's been a while since we released one, just because we've been on a short hiatus because I went on a honeymoon. So it's good to be back, and next week we'll talk about our picks for the EP that everybody voted on. So far I think we have over 240 votes, so we're really excited to see what everybody liked. So we're gonna take most of those comments to heart and record the ones that all the fans like the most. So stay tuned next week so you can hear what we are going to be recording and our particular ideas on how to record them and what kind of production we're going to be putting into it.